Konnichiwa! Now we've covered games that have been cancelled on the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, but we've never covered a game that was cancelled and then re-released. In today's show, we're going to be taking a look at one of Sega's 16-bit games that never saw the light of day, but is getting a release in 2021. Stick around as we take a look at another new game coming out for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. My name's Mike, and this is the Retro Gamer Boy Show. Welcome back, and today's show is sponsored by Retro Protect. Now you guys know how much I love my retro gaming, and especially my Sega Mega Drive collection back here. And one of the most expensive things about collecting these games is getting manuals in the boxes. Complete in box games are super expensive, and the manuals can even sometimes double the price or be way more expensive than the actual game itself. And so I always take measures to make sure that these manuals are protected. And this is where Retro Protect have got you covered. Retro Protect make high quality plastic sleeves for all of your gaming manuals. You can pick up sleeves for your Nintendo Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, your Nintendo GameCube, the Super Nintendo, the N64, your Sega Saturn, your Sega Dreamcast, your Sega Master System, your Sega Mega Drive, your Sega Game Gear, your PlayStation 2, Xbox, Xbox 360, Wii, Wii U, PS1, PS3 and PS4. But there's two sleeves in particular that have got me really excited. The first is the standard Mega Drive manual sleeve, because that manual sleeve also fits in the Codemaster manuals. You'll know if you're a Mega Drive or Genesis collector that the Codemaster manuals don't conform to the standard sizing of the Mega Drive manuals behind me. The other is that Retro Protect actually makes sleeves for EA manuals. Now, if you're a Genesis or Mega Drive collector, you'll know how hard or impossible it is to get anything to protect these huge manuals. But you can see here from my super rare Lakers versus Celtics that the sleeve is super snug and makes these manuals look awesome, whilst also protecting them. So if you'd like to pick up some sleeves, then I definitely recommend Retro Protect, and you can get 10% off by going to their website, link will be in the description below, and entering Retro Gamer Boy 10. And if you're part of the Retro Gamer Boy memberships, the Pixel Perfect crew, then you could be in with a chance of winning a pack of 25 sleeves. We've got 2 of these to give away. So if you haven't become a member, join now to be in a chance to pick up these awesome sleeves for your retro games. In 1993, French publisher Laricio released a game called Jim Power: The Lost Dimension in 3D. The game was released on the Super Nintendo and the PC. Now, Laricio published 150 games since opening its doors, but in 1995, the company, following huge financial difficulties, had to close down. But one of the games that was due for release but had to be cancelled because of these financial difficulties was Jim Power, the arcade game. This was the Sega Genesis and Sega Mega Drive version of Jim Power: The Lost Dimension in 3D. Now, the game was almost fully complete. It had every single level in there, pretty much all the content. You couldn't quite finish the game because the ending hadn't been added, and the sound effects were placeholder from Mega Turrican. The game also had a single track from level 3 which played throughout the whole game. Now, the ROM was released back in the early 2000s, and since then you've been able to play it on your favourite emulator. Now, back in 2020 there was a Kickstarter. Piko Interactive had acquired the rights for Jim Power: The Lost Dimension in 3D and were putting together a full release physical copy of the game. And in May 2021, backers of that Kickstarter received their physical copies. Now, the Sega Mega Drive version of the game differs slightly from the Super Nintendo version. There's some graphical changes in the background and the foreground, and whereas the SNES version had a top-down, Alien Breed-esque kind of level, the Mega Drive actually had this replaced with a SMUT version. And many believe that this change is why the developer changed the name of the game from Jim Power The Lost Dimension in 3D to Jim Power The Arcade Game. Now, Piko Interactive's version of the game will be called the same as the Super Nintendo version. It will be Jim Power The Lost Dimension in 3D. Now, the visuals for this game are just insane. It has the most parallax scrolling that I've ever seen in a Sega Mega Drive or Sega Genesis title. It just seems like every single element on screen is moving in some kind of direction. And I guess it gives that feeling that the world is in 3D, although of course it is just a 2D game. The attention to detail in the sprite work is stunning. Everything from a rock to the leaves to the characters on screen has been lovingly crafted. The environments, the levels, the bad guys, it's just a stunning looking game. The character animations are super fluid, and with all the parallax scrolling going on screen, it feels like the frame rate of this game is going way beyond 60 frames a second. It's absolutely stunning. The game has 7 levels, including bosses, and is a mix of platform gaming, shmups, and then they kind of mix platform and shmup together to have boss levels. Now, I haven't got the physical game yet, but I have played the ROM, and it is super hard. In fact, some people believe that this is one of the hardest 16-bit games that you can get your hands on. The game feels fast and reactive, although there's sometimes a bit of frustration with the collision boxes, and I can tell you, it is a super hard game. The shmup levels are everything you'd expect from the Mega Drive and Genesis awesomely fast processor, but are equally as hard, with some of the sprites being so big that it's almost impossible to squeeze past them. Gameplay wise, it reminds me a lot of Mega Turrican, Risky Woods and Galahad, and I love all those kind of platform games. It definitely feels like a more modern game like Mega Turrican, but still retains some of the gameplay and level structure elements that you'd find in Risky Woods or Galahad. Personally, I'm really excited to get my hands on this physical edition of Jim Power's The Lost Dimension in 3D. I love Mega Turrican, I really enjoy Risky Woods and Galahad, and the visuals and the structure of the design are just fantastic. And the fact that it's so hard means that it's going to be a real challenge to play this on original hardware. Now, you can pre-order your physical copy of Jim Power The Lost Dimension in 3D from Piko Interactive's website, and we'll add that to the description below the video. But when you put this up against some of the AAA modern games coming out on the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, games like the Demons of Askerberg or even ZPF, then this game still really holds up. A game that's over 27 years old, and it still looks fantastic. I can't wait to add this to my collection, and it's just another reason why the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive is an absolutely stunning console to collect for. Not only does it have a huge library with some brilliant games in there, but this console is still supported, and the indie scene doesn't seem to be slowing down. And games like this, Jim Power and The Lost Dimension in 3D, only add to the awesome catalogue of games that this console already has. That's it for this week. Remember to go check out Retro Protect and get your manuals looking great and protected now. Use the Retro Gamer Boy 10 to get that 10% discount. Now, if you're not a member, you can join by clicking on the little button just below this video, and you could be in with a chance of winning yourself a packet of Retro Protect sleeves for your manuals. We also put out brand new retro gaming videos like this one every single Monday, and you can make sure that you never miss a show by also clicking on another little button just below this video. And if you can't wait until Monday, don't worry, we've got you covered with a huge back catalogue of retro gaming videos, 2 of which you can watch over here.